On the 15th of August 1977, it was a routine day at Ohio Wesleyan University. But tonight, something was going to happen here that would remain a mystery for humans for years to come. At the university, the 30-meter wide reflector of the Big Ear radio telescope detected a very large radio signal at 10:16 p.m. This signal traveled through the telescope to the IBM 1130 computer, where it was automatically converted and sent to the printer. Noise. At this hour of the night, apart from the sound of the printer, there was complete silence in the control room. The printed signal got buried among the rest of the printouts, and for the time being, no one realized that the Big Ear telescope had received an alien signal coming from the Sagittarius constellation. A few days later, a control room technician gathered all the printouts and dropped them off at astronomer Jerry Amon's home. His job was to investigate the signals received by the telescope. On all the other pages, the signals were written in numbers 1 and 2, but in one place, Ahmad found some strange numbers and letters written. 6EQUJ5. Jerry Amon observed this signal and highlighted it with his red pen, writing the word "wow" next to it. Since then, this has been famously known as the wow signal. But what exactly was so special about this particular signal? Why has it remained a mystery for astronomers for the past 47 years? And was this signal from the Sagittarius constellation a message from aliens or just a coincidence? Behind the importance of the wow signal was a study released about 18 years before this incident. What happened was that in 1959, physicists Philip Morrison and Giuseppe Cocconi from Cornell University released a paper in which they hypothesized that if there were any extraterrestrial civilization in the universe, they would use the frequency of 1420 MHz to communicate with us, that is, those living on Earth. The reason for this is that this frequency naturally comes from hydrogen, and it is well known that hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. And this could be a common and understandable reference for any technologically advanced civilization. Therefore, this frequency is extraterrestrial communication. After the study, in 1973, the State University began using its radio telescope, Big Ear, to search for extraterrestrial signals, meaning intelligent life signals from outside Earth's atmosphere. This mission was named the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or SETI. Or was it SETI? This mission was the longest running mission of its time, specifically designed to search for life beyond Earth. The Big Ear radio telescope was located on the campus of Ohio Wesleyan University near Perkins Observatory. Its mission was to scan various parts of the sky and detect any intelligent signals that might be coming from outside Earth. To interpret the data from the Big Ear radio telescope, astronomer Jerry Amon was enlisted, who willingly agreed to help. On the night of August 15, 1977 at 10:16 p.m., the signal received by the telescope was so unique and powerful that Ahmed and his fellow scientists were astonished. The telescope recorded this signal for a full 72 seconds, which after computer conversion became 6EQUJ5. The numbers and letters in this signal do not contain any hidden message. Rather, they indicate the intensity, the strength of the signal. The signal has a total of 6 characters, and each character or number represents a 12-second time interval. This means that the telescope detects the signal for 12 seconds, then records it in the computer, and then starts recording the next 12 seconds. So, if the wow signal has 6 characters and each character represents 12 seconds, it means that the wow signal was received by the telescope for a total of 72 seconds. Let me explain that when the telescope does not receive any signal, it records a value of 0. The smallest signal is VAN, and as the numbers increase, it means the intensity, the strength of the signal is increasing. Normally, the Big Ear telescope received signals with an intensity ranging from 1 to 3 or 4. However, the WOW signal started at an intensity level of 6. If the signal value is greater than 10, it will be converted into letters. For example, the number 10 means the letter A, the number 11 means the letter B, and the number 12 means the letter C, and so on. The second part of the WOW signal was converted by the computer into E, meaning 14. Noise. This means that while the signal intensity was 6 in the previous 12 seconds, it became 14 in the next 12 seconds. The third is Q, which has a value of 26. The highest value of this signal was 30. The doctor converted it into U, and then in the last two parts its value became J, which is 20 and then 5. The most special thing about this WOW signal was that it was heard only on the frequency channel of 1420 MHz, the same frequency that naturally comes from hydrogen elements. This is the reason why astronomers and various institutions believe that this signal was sent from outer space by a civilization that is intelligent, much like us humans. Now, a question might arise in your mind that there are so many asteroids, planets, galaxies, and clusters in the universe. It is possible that this signal was generated randomly from somewhere, so why is it being linked to aliens? Actually, the 1420 MHz frequency is of the hydrogen line, which represents the most common element in the universe. Scientists believe that if any alien civilization wants to communicate, they would choose a universal and easily understandable frequency that every advanced species can understand. Secondly, if a line chart of the WOW signal strength is made, it looks very unique. This signal increased to a value of 30 and then gradually faded away over time. Signals like this can only be generated intentionally. Another reason for linking the WOW signal to aliens is that cosmic events in space do emit signals, but they are neither in this pattern, i.e., gradually increasing and then gradually fading away, nor do those signals come only once. But another special thing about the WOW signal that points towards the possibility of aliens is that this signal was heard only once and never repeated. If this signal was generated due to a natural event, it would be heard repeatedly, and most importantly, not only in the 1420 MHz frequency band. Now let's move on to our second question, which is, from which location in the sky did this signal come? The exact location of the WOW signal where it came from is very difficult to determine due to the design of the Big Ear telescope. The telescope had two different structures called feed horns. Due to the rotation of the Earth, these two feed horns were scanning the sky in different directions. The WOW signal was heard in only one of these feed horns, but not in the other, and the data was processed in such a way that it is not possible to decide which horn heard this signal. Because of this, we have these two different locations where the directions of both feed horns were at that time, and the signal could have come from either of these two locations. But it's not exactly confirmed which of the two locations it was. The signal's location was in a specific area of the Sagittarius constellation near the globular cluster M55 and close to Tau Sagittarii. This intriguing mystery remains unsolved because although we know the signal originated from the direction of Sagittarius, the precise coordinates have not yet been confirmed. There are many theories and hypotheses about the WOW signal, what it was, and where it came from, but scientists do not agree on any one theory. One possibility is that it was an interstellar twinkling of a weak signal, much like how stars twinkle in the night sky. But the Very Large Array Telescope, which is more sensitive than the Big Ear, could not detect this signal. If this signal was detected by the Big Ear due to interstellar twinkling, then why wasn't it detected by the VLA? Hence, this theory was also proven wrong. Another intriguing idea suggested that perhaps this signal was actually generated from Earth itself, but then it was reflected back to the Big Ear telescope after bouncing off an asteroid or some space debris. However, this theory was also later proven to be incorrect because scientists say that if this signal had been generated on Earth, it wouldn't have enough strength after bouncing back from space to reach a value of U, which is 30. Another issue is that the 1420 MHz frequency band is reserved for astronomy, and radios on Earth are not allowed to send signals on this frequency. This is why it's not possible for the WOW signal to have been generated on Earth. Jerry Amon and other astronomers made attempts to find the signal 50 times again, but it was never heard again. In 1987 and 1989, Robert Gray used the Meta Array at Oak Ridge Observatory. In 1995, H. Paul Schotch used the telescope at Greenbank Observatory. Then in 1999, Gray and Simon Ellingson also used the 26-meter telescope at Mount Pleasant Radio Observatory, but the result was always the same: complete silence. Was this signal an accident, or did aliens try to contact us and then stop? In 2017, Antonio Paris suggested that this signal might have come from the hydrogen clouds of two comets, 266P and 335P, but astronomers dismissed this idea because the comets were not in the right spots at that time, and secondly, hydrogen clouds cannot send signals at this frequency. In 1977, Antonio Paris suggested that this signal might have come from the hydrogen clouds of two comets, 266P and 335P, but astronomers dismissed this idea because the comets were not at the right spots at that time, and secondly, hydrogen clouds cannot throw radio signals at this frequency. Scientists stated that if this signal had come from a comet, it would have been detected by both feed horns, but that did not happen. The WOW signal remains a mystery, one that scientists have yet to solve. Was it a message from an alien civilization or a natural cosmic event? The scientific community is still trying to understand the origin of this signal. It has been nearly 47 years since the WOW signal was first recorded, but it has never been detected by any telescope again since that night of August 15th, 1977. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.